This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, thank you all for being here. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm Robin Fredrickson. I'm a contractor with Tooele County Emergency Management, and I mostly help with community engagement for preparedness. And one of the initiatives that we are doing is called the Rapid Disaster Assessment Plan, which is really awesome. I think most of you know about it. If you don't know about it, I'm going to just quickly go overview of it, but there's a whole video of what it is, how it works, more in depth. I show little pictures of it, but I'm going to just quickly go through it for those of you who don't know about it. So before, there was the block captain program, which had pre-assigned callings and assignments, and sometimes people moved and it was just difficult to keep it up. This program is a tool. It's not, I mean, it's a plan, but it's mostly a tool, and it doesn't require any previous assignments. It can be implemented by spontaneous volunteers and managed by whoever shows up first, which is awesome. And it really doesn't require any electricity. It just requires that little tool, which is basically a notebook, and it can be done anywhere, at a church or a clubhouse, schools, homes, anywhere really. So in my neighborhood, our church was far away, so we made homes be the little meeting areas. So this is the tool. Basically, it's just a notebook with all the information, and there's also some folders for the teams that go out, and we'll talk a little bit about those later. But it basically is a 3-ring binder with all the instructions that anybody can just get in, read what's needed to be done, set it up, and then go to work. And there, inside of it has the maps of the neighborhood and the maps of the whole things, the whole neighborhood, and the different things that each of the teams need to look for. So really, everything's there of what needs to happen, except for your communications. And we'll talk about that in a minute. So this is kind of an example of what the inside looks like. This is kind of what it looks like for basic setup. There's that first little table. And here's a flow chart of the first 3 people that come in, kind of are the main people in charge. And then the next ones that come in do the going out and assessing. So here's a couple people that are getting their assignment ready to go out and assess. So inside the folder that they'll get instructions, a map, a summary sheet, which is just a way to kind of have an overview, an assessment form, some flagging tape, and then a pencil to keep track of everything. And that is all a team needs to go out and be able to assess. So, and then here's the detail sheet that the community leaders and others will use to make decisions on what needs to happen next. So really what it is the first person shows up, the first person shows up and sets up these 3 tables, and inside the notebook has the directions on how to set up these 3 tables. Then the next person shows up and they're assigned to the second table, and then the next person shows up and they're assigned to the third. And each area already has instructions and what's needed for each position. Then the next people that show up are the volunteers that go out and do the assessment. And they show up at the first table and say, I'm here to help. And they sign in, they go to the second table, and the second table assigns them and gives them the directions of what they need to do, what they need to look for, how to be safe about it. And then they go out and do an assessment. Then they come back and report what they found, and they can go out and do another assessment, but they need to rest a little bit and do that whole same process again. So it's quite easy and quick, just depending on how far you have to walk from your staging area. So it's pretty basic, and it's a basic disaster assessment. So it's quick, it's basic, but it gets the ball rolling of what needs to happen. So then there's the binders that we divide up those assessments when we get back. On the yellows are the ones that weren't home, so we'll have to reassess those. But the reds are those that need help. So help can come from the neighborhood, or if it's too big, then the neighborhood needs to communicate to the fire department or emergency management to be able to get help sent. So that is basically what it is. It's just a way to assess your neighborhood quickly and then send the information onto leadership. So what do you need to do to make it work for your neighborhood? Well, this is on LDS tools. Great tool, but as you can see, it only highlights the neighborhood or the members in the neighborhood. It doesn't highlight all the people. And that's the problem, because we want to include everybody in a neighborhood. It's not about just the members. It's about everyone in our neighborhood and worrying about what they need. Just in the last little incident of flooding, there were people who needed stuff, help. And I was looking on Facebook and some people were like, my neighbor needs help shoveling out the mud out of its basement. Can you help him because I can't because my back is hurting? I just had surgery or something. Can't remember the details, but how great it is to be able to know your neighborhood and where the needs are. And so while this is a great map, it's better to have the whole entire your whole entire neighborhood with all the lots laid out. So this plan uses blocks the same way, but you don't have to have a block captain. You just make up the map and have each of the blocks as 10 to 12 houses and make up the blocks, and each block will have an alpha letter. So do you see all the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so all the way up to however you need it. And then that's where the whole thing starts from, is that map. So then it's divided into the more detailed map with the address numbers. And really, that's all we care about. We don't care about who lives there. We just care about that there's a house, so we need to assess it. So Tooele County has this interactive web app on their website, and anybody can get to it, and it's very helpful. But the problem is you can't really print from it very well. So Tooele County Emergency Management has, we have part of this program that has a little more power than what you can do online. So you can come to Tooele County Emergency Management, and after you've drawn out your maps and gotten your blocks, you can come to Tooele County Emergency Management and get it printed, which is what is the hiccup for most of the time that people use this plan, because mapping was the hardest thing to come by. Although you can screenshot and make your map just this way, it also, when you get more closer in, you can get the numbers. But I will put the link at the end so that you kind of know. And I will also send it out in the email. So everybody make sure you email me tonight so that I can send you the information that we talked about tonight so that you have it, because you'll want it, because there's lots of links to be able to sign up. So see, I went in closer, there's all the numbers. So you can totally have the numbers right there in front of you when you're making your maps. So the other part that you will need to do is I will send you the link of the Excel spreadsheet where you will put the addresses in for the addresses to be able to merge to the forms that we'll be talking about next week, or this week. For our training tomorrow, we're going to talk about how to merge the information that you have on your spreadsheet into the form so that you don't have to write out every little thing. That's what I did. I think that's almost what Rob did. And Roland got it figured out and he merged it. So he helped me get that all figured out. And he made it very much more simple. But here's the form with one of the addresses filled out. So that makes it so much easier to know the addresses as the people are going along doing the assessment. So the other things I want you to think about. Okay, you'll think about your map, your whole entire ward map. Then you'll think about the blocks. So 10 to 12, no more than 10 to 12, because remember, this is rapid disaster assessment. And then I want you to start, you can't see can you see my screen, Kim?
No.
Here.
No.
Does anybody not see my screen? Because I'm seeing it like.
I can see it.
I can see it.
I wonder why you're not. I don't know why you're not, because I'm sharing it. Anyway, mostly I'll send you most of the information that you need, but I just was running through this real quick. One of the most important is to figure out where your staging or your meeting areas are going to be. Like I said, our church was way out of our neighborhood. So we decided to have our meeting area in the neighborhood. So it can be at a clubhouse or somebody's house or even at a park. If it can be in the winter and you can have something cover, it really can be a simple thing. It has to be somewhere where you can store the kit and then be able to access it. So I put mine so my house was one of the meeting areas. Mine was just in back of my back gate and people could just walk in my back and pick up the kit. It was kind of in my bushes in the back. So it was not just out, but most people didn't know, the people in our area knew that's where the kit would be. And so that's the whole thing, is people need to know where the kit is going to be. So talk about it with your whole ward council and where you want this to happen, because that's also kind of a way to figure out how you're going to divide up your blocks too. Because we did 3 zones. You can do how many ever you need. The next thing is you need to figure out how you're going to communicate to your leadership. So if it's at the church, it's not going to be quite as major, but we had to figure out a way that we were going to communicate what we found up to our leadership, and then the leadership has to report to the stake, and then the stake reports to TCEM. So those are some important things that you need to work out that Tooele County Emergency Management can't do. We have the frequencies for each of the areas for the stakes to report to the EOC, but we don't have the local communication way for the ways you need to communicate. So those are 2 important things that you need to consider while you're doing your plan. So the things that TCEM will provide is, just like I said, will help with the mapping. Next Thursday, I'm going to teach you how to merge those addresses. We're going to supply all that stuff you see right in front of you. We're going to supply it all. And you'll just have to just put it together. We'll even include the tote. We'll get the forms printed. We'll print the ones that have been merged for you. And we will continue to support in helping you develop your kit. We cannot do it for you, but we can do the pieces and parts, and then you can put it together. So next week we will talk about, or this week we will talk about how to merge the forms. Next Thursday, we will talk about how to put the kit together and how to make sure that it can be read by anybody and done by anybody. And then the last Thursday of August, we will talk about the exercise that we would love to have you participate in with Tooele County Emergency Management, because this is, we felt it was a great opportunity to be able to reach down into the neighbors and be a service and be just a good neighbor, and also to share the information that Tooele County Emergency Management has for all of Tooele County. So this is just a tool that we're using to help you have a plan in your neighborhood, and also to help people in your neighborhood know about the resources that we have. So these are some of the sheets that we'll be printing for you, and the exercise, it'll be on September 11th from 9 to 10:30 approximately. It might go a little bit longer depending, but you are so invited to participate with us by doing your RDAP plan, but we'll have exercise sheets, so you don't even have to use up your RDAP sheets. We'll have the exercise sheets printed for you, and you go out, do your RDAP plan, play it out, and get to know what your neighborhood is like. Find those gaps before a disaster ever happens, and you will be so much better off and be able to recover and help where needed quicker, because you've already played it out. So during the exercise, we'll have like a little brochure that will tell about the things that Tooele County Emergency Management has and why we're doing this little exercise. And it's on September 11th because it's the commemoration of 9/11. It's been 20 years. It's kind of wild that we want to remember those who sacrificed and to bring our neighborhoods together so that we can help each other. So we totally invite you to participate with us. It is not a have-to thing. We will still help you make your plans, because you having plans in your neighborhoods actually helps Tooele County Emergency Management, because you will know how to take care of your neighborhood. And that's a big deal, because you know that we have volunteer fire departments and not enough of any first responders that would be able to cover an entire county. So we need the neighborhoods to know how to help themselves. And this is a great way. So that's why we're using the money that we would normally spend for, because it's National Preparedness Month next month, and we usually do a big, event and different things. We're using this as our focus, and we want you to participate, but it is not a have-to thing. We would just like you to, for sure, have your plan. So I said all that. So one of the things I want to tell you is that we will have the stakes communicate through amateur radio. So hopefully all your stakes will have an amateur radio person that will be ready to communicate to the EOC, and also a high counselor or stake presidency member should call on the conference call that we have, and it'll be at 10:30. So, and I'll send more information out about that, and Ben already has that information to share with the stakes, but I just wanted everybody to know that we will be communicating. You'll be getting people's, for the exercise, you'll ask people if they will give their phone number and email address to be put on the Tooele alerts list, so that we can have more access to people's, to be able to send notifications immediately. So you know that the sirens that go off every Wednesday, well, not everybody in the county hears them anymore. And one of the best ways we know is through this notification system. But you have to opt in. It's not you're already part of it. You have to opt in. So this is a great way to go to your neighbors, share the information, and see if they want to be part of the notification system, so that they can be informed. If something should happen in your neighborhood, we could make that information available in your neighborhood for the notification. So really, really beneficial. to be part of this exercise. So some of the resources that the church has already is the Area Temporal Preparedness Guide for Utah. They have them for a lot of different areas, but there's a specific one for Utah. There's the temporal preparedness resources, and especially the emergency planning guide and worksheets, which are very, very beneficial because it gives you the way to make your plan. So the resources that Tooele County has is the Tooele Alerts, Tooele Ready, and Tooele Response. And we hope that you will go onto our Tooele Ready website and kind of get to know our resources. Right now, we're working on our Tooele Response website, so it's not exactly right, but we really need help. Like, there's just different things that happen, and not everybody needs to do everything. So you can choose something that might interest you and be part of that for Tooele Response. And our Tooele County Emergency Management Facebook page is very, very important to follow. And we even have Twitter, but it's easier for me to put stuff out on Tooele County Facebook page because it's just easier. And so we really encourage people to follow TCEM on Facebook and Dispatch and others, because that's where the quickest information, we can get the quickest information out on social media, because we all know that. But we want you to know that we are the source, just like the sheriff's office and just like the police in Tooele or the city. Those are the main sources that you should follow. So we really encourage people to follow us on Facebook. So to sign up for to get your map made, to have it printed, you'll sign up with Ashley Walker, and it's on Sign Up Genius, and I will share that link at the end, and also in the document that I will send out. And also we really want you to have your ward outlined and then your blocks made, because that will make it lots easier for Ashley to do, because she will she'll basically make it for you and then print it out, and then she'll keep the files and and then you'll send the merge files that you want to her, and then they'll print out everything, and then you get to come and pick up everything and then put it all together. So really, Ashley is doing a ton of stuff, and we want to keep her busy, but we don't want to keep her so busy that she can't do it. So if you could have your ward map and then your blocks and even your zones, and have that kind of already, drawn out. You don't have to have it perfect. Just you can screenshot and then make a rough draft, and she'll make a good print for you. So there's it's on Sign Up Genius that you can sign up for the appointments. She's mostly got daytime ones, but if you need nighttime ones, which I totally understand that you would, please let her know. And she will try to rearrange her schedule. She's a full-time student and also getting ready for a mission. So she's a busy gal, but she is really committed to helping get this done. And so is Becky and Bucky. So here is my email address. There's Roland's email address, because he is awesome and has done all the work before. And so his area has even done a little run through. There's Ashley's email and then Becky's. So she's the one who is gathering all the information or all the supplies. So if you are going to have zones, we need to know that so that we can have 3 different, like if you do 3 zones, then 3 different binders for you to put together. So we'll need to know all that. So are there any questions? I know I went really fast through all of that, but I want to just kind of give you an idea, because most of you know about RDAP, but I wanted to give you an idea of what Tooele County Emergency Management will do for you and how we can help you. Let
Robin,
me-
all those links you said you were going to put in the email?
Yes,
Okay,
yep, I will put them in the email.
thank
And
you.
let me stop sharing my screen.
Robin, I
So,
do have a couple of questions. This is Roland.
yeah, Roland?
The brochure, the trifold brochure, had an additional thought that maybe we ought to put some information in there on how to self-report your damage on, into Tooele County Emergency Management.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Because that is part of our new stuff for website. So let me write that down. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that. I haven't gotten it all done yet.
Do you have an idea when that brochure might be available, at least in draft form?
Well, I have sort of, it started, it's not done yet. So
Yeah.
I'm working on it, but I will try to, probably by next Wednesday, I'll for sure have it.
Well,
Is
that's
that okay?
funny. President Zaleski has kind of indicated to the wards in the Tooele South state that they might use the fifth Sunday to talk about this and train. That's August the 29th. And so it'd be good to be able to have some of that information available at that time.
Yeah. Oh, it'll be done. Yeah, it'll be done by then. I just,
Okay.
so I redid all of the forms to have the Tooele County Emergency Management logo and also Tooele Responds so that neighbors would know this is for Tooele County Emergency Management. This isn't just the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints trying to convert people. This is an initiative with them. And so
Okay.
all of the forms will have all our logos. And so that when they come up with the folders, so this is the folder that the teams will go out. It will have the logo and people can see that, and we'll also give you the brochures and the information that you do a form with for just the exercise. So you keep your folder just how you made it, but we'll have specific exercise forms. So
Okay.
yeah, so that
Because I
those
would
fill
think
out.
that I'd like to, reprint our two books, that we have with your logos on them.
Well,
Yeah.
we can do that, Roland, for you. So we'll just do that. Okay. So you get your, or I'll send you.
If I give
So
you
I
the
will send
files, you
you
print them?
the files tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm doing how to merge everything. After
Right.
tomorrow, I'll send all the files out that you can merge
Okay.
with the logoed forms. Okay.
Okay.
So, and then we can print it for you. So you don't have to print it. So anybody who's already done it before, if you want to have them with the logos, we will print it for you. Okay.
All right.
And
Cool.
so we'll have those after tomorrow. So like I said, tomorrow I'm teaching the how to merge. So you'll start with the spreadsheet that has all your addresses, and then I'll show you how those addresses will fit right into the forms. Okay.
Okay. Those were
So
my questions. Thank you.
say that again.
Those were my questions. Thank you.
Yeah. And so we will also pay for the binders. So see, here's our entire ward divided up into the blocks, but inside the folder, it's just the block map. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? It's in there. Oh no, my computer is dying. I don't know why. Hold on. I don't know why it's saying it's not plugged in when it totally is. Hold on just a minute. Okay. Oh, I think I might have a short in my, anyway. So, you know, if you go to the county and say, we want a map, they'll charge you. So doing it this way, we will, if you go through Tooele County Emergency Management, we will print the map as a 8.5 by 11 for your kit. You know, we won't do a big, huge one, but we'll do for your notebooks. We'll supply all the pencils, see the pencils and the carrier and the cards, the lanyards, all the forms and the tabs. We will supply all of that. So I'm hoping you are wanting to do this because you don't have a reason now to not, because we're giving you the opportunity to have most everything provided for you. It just, we can't put it together for you. We'll have most of the forms and stuff in a pile for you, but you have to put it, the folders together with the, you'll have to cut the little thingies. But once it's done, it's made, it's done. And you just wait for a disaster, I guess. So although there are parts of the Ward and State Planning Guide that says, please know where your special needs are, please communicate with your local leaders and know how you can help, which is what Tooele Response is. And then encourage preparedness. And Tooele Ready has tons of information. And we always have our collaboration meeting with about preparedness every third or second Wednesday of the month. So there's a lot of great resources, and we want to help you and your neighborhood be more prepared. Are there any questions? I know that was kind of fast, but the links and everything that I'll send out are what really is where you need to dig into. And watch that first video, because it really kind of goes into a little more detail than I went into tonight, because I was like, most everybody hopefully will have seen that video and know, but if you haven't, just watch that. Plus, I am totally here all the time for emails, and you can ask me any question you want. I'm available, and so is Becky, and so is Ashley. So everybody make sure that you put in your email in the chat to me so that I can make sure that you get the information sent to you, okay? Because some of you, there's a couple of you that I don't have. So I want to make sure that everybody gets it sent. I will send it out on our regular collaboration email, but for those of you who are not on my email, oh, my computer is doing it again. Please make sure I have your email in the chat. So let me really quick also put those links. There's gonna be like 4 of them. See if it'll. Computer's being so dumb. Come on, chat.
Robin, I think you're losing your signal or something because it's
Okay,
all
computer
digital.
just froze. And I don't.
I'm gonna have to bring up to the doctor when I see him on Monday.
Are you back, Robin? Can't hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
Still can't hear you.
She didn't say.